wrestling gimmicks, a unique and diverse tapestry of nonsense. A gimmick is the way you portray a character. It can be what you wear, how you talk, your specific personality. It all goes into creating a gimmick. Some gimmicks are a hit from the beginning and live on for decades. Others fail miserably out of the gate and are never heard from again. Others still are failures but somehow stick around. Very rarely can someone take a failed gimmick, a character that the audience just doesn't like or care about, and turn it into an absolute phenomenon. Well, that's what happened with the New Day. So let's talk about my favorite act of the last decade and take a look at how they went from doom to boom. The New Day was birthed in 2014 out of frustration that Xavier Woods was having with his direction given to him by creative. After being used simply as a supporting character without anything to do, Woods went to the WWE writers with the idea of a new Nation of Domination, a stable that in 1997 brought together several black talents as a group pushing for black superiority and excellence in the WWF. So, Woods was given the go-ahead to put the group together and pitch the idea. Woods approached other black superstars, Big E Langston and Kofi Kingston, both of whom had plateaued creatively. The group was together, but now what? In July 2014, the group would officially form on TV, with Xavier Woods declaring that the unnamed trio would no longer be waiting for opportunity, they would be taking what they wanted. The mission statement would be repeated the following week on commentary, and then as soon as they appeared on our screens, they were gone. The WWE higher-ups felt the direction was going too militant, so it was back to the drawing board. They shot vignettes with a more comedic tone that never aired, and that was when the crazy old man came up with an idea. Preachers! In November of that year, the three would re-debut on television christened The New Day. Uber happy babyfaces preaching the power of positivity. While all three gave their all to the gimmick week after week, it was poorly received from fans. In fact, a lot of fans outright hated the gimmick, especially after the teases of the heel version that we got, where they had an edge and a real agenda. But to Vince's credit, he didn't completely drop the group. He took a chance, trusting the New Day to get the gimmick over, but this time as heels. In April 2015, the New Day won the WWE Tag Team Championship and turned heel shortly after. They would go on to hold those titles for over 480 days. This was when the three took the cheesy material that they were given and very easily turned the characters into delusional heels. They were so enveloped with the power of positivity, they couldn't hear the boos. They started their own chants of New Day rocks to a crowd response of New Day sucks. Something was working. The act started to click. Eventually, the New Day started to implement their own inside jokes, dumb jokes, and just started putting more of themselves into their on-screen characters. As we've learned, the best on-screen characters in wrestling are just the performers' personalities turned up to 11. The sillier, nerdier, and more ridiculous the New Day became, the more crowds started to cheer for them. How could they not cheer for Big E's hip swivel or Woods' trombone playing? They threw everything at the wall, and 90% of it stuck. By February 2016, they were back to being babyfaces and were without a doubt the hottest act in WWE. The presentation got larger and more over the top. The merchandise flow seemed never-ending. A shirt for every holiday, occasion, or new catchphrase they'd come up with. Even real-life bootios. The New Day got so over that they weren't even on the card for WrestleMania 33. They were hosting the show. WWE saw so much value not just in them being on the show, but being on the show multiple times through the night. The New Day were able to get over to this degree because they were given the freedom and trust of Vince McMahon to do things that felt right to them. The talents were put in charge of what they wanted to do and how to do it. But it also worked because of their real-life friendship. Their chemistry couldn't be created in a writer's room. You can't script their love for one another. That realism is why fans were able to get so invested when Kofi Kingston finally ascended to the top spot and win the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 35. The storyline to get there, with Big E and Woods having to constantly help Kofi get and keep his championship match, made the moment they shared in the ring all the better. Even though they're now on separate shows, New Day is still together, not splitting up from one another. They were forced apart by the WWE draft, but fans still look to them to be the bright spots of WWE television. Big E has done a great job creating his independent identity on SmackDown, and Woods and Kofi on Raw carrying the banner trying to make the most of what they're given. The New Day is the ultimate success story when it comes to a doomed gimmick. The old adage of if at first you don't succeed, try again. Gimmicks and characters can always be tweaked and changed to be something an audience can enjoy, whether to be cheered or booed. The worst reaction for a wrestler is silence or apathy. Clearly, if you give talents the room to grow and change characters, they may be able to make them work. Or maybe they can't. Thankfully, the talent comprising the New Day were smart enough and brave enough to take some risks on live TV to make the gimmick work. And now we have a team that transcends pro wrestling, one of the greatest factions ever, and clearly Hall of Famers when they're done. All because they took a chance on themselves. I guess you could say,
New Day Rocks! New Day Rocks!